5, 4.
Tonight on NewsWatch Ole Miss, a beloved Ole Miss tradition is coming to an end, and students are not too happy about it.
Plus, with March Madness coming up, it could now be legal to bet on sports online and mobile. These stories and more, NewsWatch Ole Miss starts now.
Welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Olivia Wright.
And I'm Walker Farmer. If you were outside today, you can agree that it was a beautiful day.
That's right, Walker. Blue skies and cool breezes here and there. Let's quickly check in with weather anchor Mackenzie Cox to hear how it's currently feeling outside.
That's right. We've had absolutely beautiful weather today. As you can see, 56, clear skies, mostly sunny. So it's been a beautiful day to be out and about, taking some of that weather, and the warm weather will be continuing throughout this week. Stay tuned for more weather updates.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Here on campus, baseball fans are questioning a decision that throws out a beloved tradition.
Yes, the 2024 campaign for the Ole Miss Rebels to win their second national championship in 3 years is already off to a rocky start. NewsWatch Jason Kern shows us why Ole Miss is canceling this tradition.
The rush for a Swayze Stadium spot in right field is a decades-long tradition at Ole Miss. But the athletics department says it's not allowed this year.
Ole Miss Athletics sent all the students an official email, and it says portable chairs will be supplied for each row of the section, courtesy of Ole Miss Athletics, and available on a first-come, first-served basis.
With that email, it did not sit well with some student fans.
Being a freshman here, I was looking forward to going to baseball games and do the rushing chair and do right field and all that. But, they canceled it this year, so it's kind of sucks. Same thing with the Grove run. That kind of stuck me out.
I think it's just really disappointing. It kind of defeats the purpose of Ole Miss in general. It's supposed to be a fun school, fun time. And I think the student life would appreciate it if we could do it again.
I think it kind of takes out what Ole Miss baseball look forward to as a student. From December, you look forward to Ole Miss baseball, you think about the chair run and all that, and I think it just takes away from what students really want to go tailgate for to start the season and hang out with all the other students to support Ole Miss baseball.
We tried to speak with someone in Athletics, but no one was available to comment. With all this, there will definitely be a different feel out and right this season. Jason Kern, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
With more campus news, the second ever Miss Black University was crowned yesterday afternoon.
That's right, Walker. Congratulations to Michaela Foltz. Foltz is a senior majoring in allied health studies who has also awarded Miss Photogenic. After the pageant, Foltz shared with Daily Mississippian that the experience was not only enjoyable, but also very memorable.
Here in Lafayette County, the Democratic Party is getting ready for the precinct caucuses. This year's will be held from the 10th to the 11th on Saturday, February 24th. Every 4 years, the party starts at the local level, county precincts. All precincts will meet at your voting precinct except the following. Oxford Conference Center meets at the Hampton Inn Conference Center boardroom. Anchor Taylor precinct voters will meet at Taylor Community Center. Airport, Grocery, Paris, and Tula precincts will meet at the Old Health Department. If you have any questions, call Christine Hemmings at 662-801-5357, which can be found at the bottom of your screen. In Jackson, Mississippi, a newly elected state senator is shaking things up, introducing a bill to remove Confederate art from the state's capital. State Senator Bradford Blackman says last November he stopped by the Capitol and noticed a painting of two soldiers lifting up a Confederate flag. Soon after, Blackman introduced Senate Bill 2217 to get it removed. The current Capitol building has been standing since 1903 and claims that all artwork are historical artifacts.
Our ancestors' blood is drenched with that flag. And while some celebrate the losing victory, we celebrate a hurtful past when we see that, because we know what that represented for people who look like me.
Been filed in the House to coexist with Senator Blackman's bill. It suggests replacing the flag in the painting with the current state flag. different from Blackman's bill that suggests replacing the painting with one designed by a local artist. Despite the push to do so, there is no guarantee the painting will be taken down. There is also not yet a timeline on when the issue might be voted on.
A controversial bill was making its way through the Tennessee legislature this week, not about gun control or abortion, but about ice, cold beer. This bill would ban refrigerated beer from being sold in stores. Fellow lawmakers are a little hesitant to support this bill, but Representative Ron Gant says his desire for this bill is simple. 2 years ago, Gant was involved in a drunk driving incident that nearly killed him. He says he simply wants to be a voice for the victims of drunk drivers.
Hard to talk about, and at some point I'll open up and talk more about it, but I'm still dealing with that from a very emotional standpoint.
Gant's bill would also cap the number of drinks someone could purchase at a bar if they don't have a sober ride home. It would also include doing a deep study into drunk driving statistics. Well, March Madness is around the corner, and it is the busiest time of the year for sports betting. With the House approving the Mississippi Mobile Sports Wagering Act, the Mississippi State Legislature could be making sports betting more convenient. The act would legalize online and mobile sports betting statewide. NewsWatch reporter Cody Ferris says not everyone thinks this is a good idea.
Computer science major Evan Caston enjoys a good round of hoops and a good bet, but he thinks some gambling platforms try to take advantage of players.
Oh yeah, you get bonus bets if you sign up. If you sign up and it's your first time, you get bonus bets. And it's what they use to get you hooked.
Danny Booth is an addiction specialist at the Oxford Outpatient Treatment Center and says these practices are potentially dangerous for Mississippians.
And I can understand the thrill of the addiction. It's the same as using anything. But it being easily accessible and available everywhere is going to turn everyone into becoming addicted to something.
If this law passes, gambling will become far easier for the average Mississippian. Instead of marching down to the casino, you may soon be able to bet from the comfort of your own home. Cody Ferris, NewsWatch, Ole Miss.
Well, coming up, a city in Minnesota is mourning the deaths of 3 first responders. Everything leading up to this after the break.
Plus, an investigation has been launched to figure out if the death of 2 Cuban doctors were a result from a U.S. airstrike. These stories and more, NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
Mississippi.
Hey, Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Because picking up litter costs us time
and money.
MDOT spends $3.2 million a year picking up litter.
That's money that could be used to maintain roads and bridges,
patch potholes,
and focus on improving Mississippi's infrastructure.
Please help us help you.
We can't do it without you.
Don't trash Mississippi.
Don't trash Mississippi.
We're here when you're ready.
Mom, I got it. What are you doing in there?
I got stuck.
Oh. Are you a dog?
I wouldn't do that. Have you seen the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Take care of yourself.
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. A Minnesota city is mourning the shooting and killing of 3 first responders yesterday morning. A vigil took place Sunday night in Minneapolis for the 2 police officers and a firefighter. According to authorities, the officers and firefighter were responding to a home where a man had barricaded himself inside with family members. Once the responders arrived, the gunman opened fire.
Every day we want them to go home to their families. Every day we pray that they go home to their families. And today that's not happening. We are all hurting. Our officers, our fire department, our families, all of our staff, our community. We're heartbroken. We are heartbroken.
Authorities say that the Burnsville police were called to a home on a report of domestic violence situation. Authorities later learned that 7 young children were in the home, all ranging from ages 2 to 15.
When officers got to the scene, the individual was barricaded, and they spent quite a bit of time negotiating with this individual who was barricaded in the home, and additional officers responded at that time.
The governor of Minnesota also spoke on the situation, speaking of the impact on the families and the state.
It's not going to go away when an investigation's done. These families are forever impacted, and we still have Minnesotans willing to take an oath, sign up, do the work, and know this can happen. And that speaks volumes about this community, speaks volumes about Minnesotans.
A 4th officer was also wounded in the attack, but is expected to recover. The gunman died, but it is unclear how. The family members that were inside the home were not hurt.
The U.S. is currently investigating whether an airstrike against a terror group in Somalia killed 2 hostage Cuban doctors. Leader al-Shabaab is claiming that the strike hit a house where the 2 doctors were being held. This is the first time al-Shabaab acknowledged the kidnapping of the hostages since they were captured 5 years ago in Kenya. This terror group is considered the largest al-Qaeda network in the world. A U.S. defense official says there is no credible evidence of civilian casualties, but they are still investigating the allegation. Amidst Israel's conflict with Gaza, the toll is devastating, with approximately 30,000 lives lost, predominantly women and children, according to the health ministry and the Strip. 17,000 children are now left unaccompanied or separated from their parents. CNN's reporter Nada Bashir sheds light on this dire situation where Palestinian children are placed in a camp struggling to survive, embodying the deepening hunger crisis. Across the camp, nearly 2 million displaced people face the harsh reality of fleeing for safety amid the ongoing conflict.
Home and see my brother, she says. I want to apologize to him and kiss his feet. We left and couldn't take him and my grandparents with us.
Tragically, children in the region bear the brunt of this violence and continue to face severe challenges as the conflict continues to escalate.
Tensions escalate at the University of Colorado following a recent double murder on campus that took the lives of 2 people. Reporter Carolyn has more on the story and how the campus community is mourning in the wake of this heartbreaking tragedy.
Hard to sit with. It feels unreal.
Caitlin Harrell, a junior at UCCS, is mourning the loss of her friend and classmate Samuel Knopp. Sunday, Colorado Springs police identified Knopp and 26-year-old Celie Rain Montgomery as the victims in Friday's double homicide here on campus.
We kind of knew the day of that it was him. We knew what room he was living in and where everybody was investigating, so we kind of knew at the beginning, and that was hard for all of my roommates. We didn't know what to think, what to do.
Police say Montgomery was a visitor to UCCS. The university says Knopp was a senior studying music and a beloved member of the Visual and Performing Arts Department.
He was an extremely talented individual, and he had so much going for him. He was extremely bubbly and so kind. He could talk about anything with anybody for hours.
Police say both victims were found dead in Crestone House, a dormitory located here on campus around 6 a.m. on Friday. They say both victims were found with at least one gunshot wound. Police have not released any information about a potential suspect, only stating that their investigation remains ongoing. Harrell says she's been scared all weekend, opting to stay on campus as many other students stayed away from the campus this weekend.
Everybody's going to be scared. A lot of my friends are going home and staying there for probably the rest of the week.
But while grieving the loss of her friend, she has found ways to cope through her tragedy.
I go through a lot of things by my singularly, and I think having the alone time will help me.
TikTok is facing a new investigation. The social media app is under investigation from the European Union to determine whether or not the company is doing enough to protect minors. They are also examining the highly suspected violations of the bloc's landmark Digital Services Act. The union is wanting to know if the app owned by China is complying with the laws to protect minors' privacy and safety. They are focusing on TikTok's verification tools and not taking enough precaution for minors accessing inappropriate content. Now let's check in with weather anchor Mackenzie Cox for a look at tonight's conditions.
Yes, it's important. It's going to be much colder tonight than it was today, so if you are heading out this evening, beware of these near freezing temperatures. Mostly cloudy skies, which will make it feel even colder than it is, but very little chance of rain. Stay tuned for more weather information. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Is this like crooked, or do I need to stand over more?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
Okay, perfect.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride? Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Let's take a look at our current conditions. Beautiful 56 degrees outside, mostly sunny skies. Winds have been very low, coming in from the south at 4 miles per hour, and a 0% chance of precipitation. It's not really often that we see that during this season. And it's been a similar day all across North Mississippi. Not a lot of variety here. 56 in Oxford, 55 almost everywhere else except Tupelo, coming in at our warmest at 58. And here, kind of taking a national perspective, this is the temperature for today all across the country. And you can see that we do have some storms that are on our west coast that might potentially be coming over to this way, bringing some rain later this week. But right now, we're in this high pressure area, meaning everything is very settled and calm, nothing to worry about today or tomorrow. Tonight's forecast will be looking at 33, so those near freezing temperatures. Important to be aware of that. If you are heading out, might want to bring a jacket. Mostly cloudy skies, and then winds will be light, 6 miles per hour from the south, 3% chance of precipitation, so nothing to be too concerned about. And tomorrow we're going to be warming up even more to 64 degrees, so it's really going to start to feel like spring, but who knows if it'll stay for too long. Sunny skies, south-southwest winds at 5 miles per hour. Again, very little precipitation, nothing to be concerned about. And then here looking at the region, again, not a lot of variety coming from that high pressure system. Everything's pretty settled here in the region, but 64 South Haven, Holly Springs, Corinth, and Oxford, 65 in Tupelo. And taking a look at our 5-day forecast, as you can see, we do have some range here, coming in 64 tomorrow, but 72 on Wednesday, back down to 68, 62. We're all over the place.
So hopefully the storm you're talking about can hold off just a little bit with the baseball home opener on Wednesday.
I think we're in the clear.
We better be, because we've been waiting for baseball for such a long time. They just played some beautiful weather in Hawaii, so hopefully that beautiful weather can come over on to Oxford for a great week of baseball. And coming up, men's and women's basketball teams were victorious this weekend, and the baseball season has officially started. I'll have that and more up next in sports.
Incredible women. I wish they had those kind of cool careers for women when we were growing up.
So in this flashback, we're all the same age?
Yeah.
What does everyone want to be when they grow up?
If I say 2 jobs, do I get extra credit?
No. I want to make immersive video games. I want to revolutionize 3D printing. I want to analyze data from the cloud.
I want to be a meteor.
You mean meteorologist?
No.
That's great, Al. Follow your dreams.
For the record, I was a baby in the 70s.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's all good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Jason Kern with Sports Watch. This past Friday, the Rebel men's basketball team won in a nail-biter versus Missouri, 79-76. This was seemingly a must-win game for the Rebs, as they are currently sitting as a last four-in team. Matthew Morrell led all scores of 26 as he shot 7 for 10 from the field. They looked deflated in the first half, but came out and scored 50 in the second half to secure the deal. The team will be back in action this Wednesday as they hit the road to face Mississippi State in Starkville. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. and will be aired on ESPN2. Now, yesterday in the Ole Miss women's basketball game, they defeated rival Mississippi State at home in overtime, 75-71. State was leading for most of the game until Madison Scott turned on the Jets late to bring the Rebs back with a 20-point game for herself. Ole Miss is currently a projected 8th seed for March Madness with only 4 regular season games remaining. The Rebels now remain in Oxford and will welcome Georgia at the SJB Pavilion on Thursday for their second meeting of the year. Tip-off against the Bulldogs is set for 6:30 p.m. Now, the Ole Miss baseball season is officially underway as the baseball team finished their 4-game series in Hawaii, going 2-2 over the 3 days. In the first 2 games, the pitching was strong and the bats were clutch, as Ethan Groff had a big first game going 3 for 5, and then Bo Gatlin in the second game hit a 3-run homer. In the last 2, it was not as pretty, as they lost the third game 9-1 and the fourth game 13-4. Now the Rebs are back in Oxford this week for 4 games. The first is Wednesday at 4 versus Arkansas State in the home opener, and the last 3 are all versus High Point over the weekend. The softball team is rolling as they just won their 9th straight game, sweeping the Kennesaw State tournament, beating Pitt twice and Kennesaw State twice, improving their overall record to 9-1 on the year. Clutch hitting in the 6th inning helped Ole Miss softball take down Pitt 2-1 in a pitcher's duel to win its 9th straight game and secure its best start through 10 games in program history on Sunday morning at Bailey Park. Ole Miss looks to continue its best start to a season in program history next weekend at the Clemson Classic. The Rebels are set to take on UConn, Miami, Ohio, and Clemson from February 23rd to February 25th. Now that's all I've got for sports. Be sure to follow us on X at rebel_watch for the latest sports updates. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jason. Coming up, historians unveil ratings for the best presidents.
Find out where Biden placed after the break. This is NewsWatch Ole Miss, and we'll be right back.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Today is President's Day, and what it is a better way to celebrate than to rank the best U.S. presidents.
Historians took the matter into their own hands and created a list. Despite recent challenges in President Joe Biden's approval ratings, a surprising turn of events has surfaced. Historians now rank Biden as the 14th best president in American history.
According to a survey conducted by college professors, Biden's standout achievement lies in preventing former President Trump from securing a second term in 2020. The professors note Biden's shift towards a more traditional style of leadership, contrasting sharply with Trump, who finds himself at the bottom of the presidential ranking. Well, since we're talking about presidential rankings, who are your guys' top picks?
Yeah, so my top 2 presidents, I'd have to go with Donald Trump, even though that ranking disagrees with me, and then Ronald Reagan. How about you guys?
I would have to go with Abe Lincoln. I think he's always the top for me.
Not a big president guy, but when you think of presidents, you think of George Washington. Happy birthday, George Washington.
So true.
I hope I'm right on that. Yeah, I mean, his face is everywhere, and his face is on Mount Rushmore, especially George Washington. Love that guy.
I think that's a good one. I'll take 2. I'll go Reagan and Washington.
There you go.
I like it.
Before we close out, Mackenzie, remind us once again what we can be looking forward to weather-wise.
Well, it really is going to be a beautiful week. Temperatures will be much higher than they have been. Our highest is on 70. It's on Wednesday at 72. But we will be cooling back down a little bit for the weekend. If you're heading to any of the baseball games, it should be really nice.
Thank you, Mackenzie. And thank you to all of you for watching. Tune in tomorrow. I'm Olivia Wright.
And I'm Walker Farmer with your latest news.
I'm Jason Kern with Sports Watch.
And with Stormwatch, I'm Mackenzie Cox.
Be sure to keep up with us on our socials and tune in tomorrow at 5. News. We keep it live and keep it local.
Mm-hmm.